Hello and welcome to the return of the Pertwee Smith boys.
Yes, Ben and Luke here to discuss the third Doctor Adventures, the return of Jo Jones.
Along with the Big Finish news and adding the stories from Return to Jo Jones on a tier list because we love a tier list around here. But before
Yeah.
we dive into that, what have you been doing, Luke? How have you been occupying yourself since we last spoke?
I mean, mostly getting through this set, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
spoiler alert, it was a bit of a slog to get through, I can't lie. So that was one of the reasons it took so long. It's been out a month now, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, yeah.
Yeah. Along with that, I've been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again over on Disney Plus. So
Okay.
getting back into that. Maybe because we haven't had any Fennec Shand so far in this series of the Mandalorian. I was missing my regular fix of Ming-Na Wen. So I turned
Okay, is
over
she in that?
to, yeah, she was like Agent May in that. So she's in like all 7 seasons as like a major player. There's actually like quite a few faces from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. who have later gone to turn up in Mando or Andor, even another
All right.
Star Wars related stuff. So it certainly seems like they're farming the show for talent a bit at times.
Yeah, yeah.
Because what's it, Axe Woves
Oh, yeah.
from like he's a major bad guy in Agents of Badass. He's like a second in command of Hydra at one point.
Right, okay.
Yeah, where I'm at the moment. So it's just funny seeing like the two very different characters there because you've got one who is very much like a slimy um, underdog type character, and then with Axe Woves you've got like the cool, calculated Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Not that we know too much about him yet, but
Yeah, we don't actually.
yeah, it's just funny seeing like that contrast there in the characters he plays. Whereas at Ming-Na Wen sort of gets the same character with Fennec Shand and her character in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent May.
All
So,
right.
I mean, it's not, yeah, it's definitely not a bad thing for the actress herself, but I feel like it's more in what Fennec Shand has been given as a character.
Right.
It doesn't feel like, yeah. I don't know if Book of Boba Fett really gave her that much. But, and also got the Demon Song arrived in the post.
Yes, mine did as well.
You've recorded your little collection update, haven't you?
Yeah, that'll be out tomorrow.
No, you'll get to show that off.
It's very pretty. Very pretty.
Yeah. I mean, where is... I've got 2 pictures loaded up. Oh, here we go. If I can share that.
I'll just add that to the stream. There we go.
Yeah. So there that is. I plonked that on the shelf there and took a nice little picture of it.
Very artsy.
It works very well, that cover in person, doesn't it?
Yeah, looks great.
It looks wonderful. And then also, if I do another one,
Here we go.
because I can't switch between tabs on this. There it is. For those who are interested,
That's how it lines up.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And I mean, one of the interesting things now is that they've dropped the range line, haven't they? Or at least
Yeah.
it's sort of hard to tell how consistent that'll be because it was on the 8th Doctor Time War with Cass. But I can't lie, it looks a bit cleaner now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's nice to actually be able to read the title and not have to squint to see it. Because, I mean, I think probably what you have there when you look at the Annihilators and Kaleidoscope, that's probably the perfect format.
Yes, yeah.
But I definitely prefer what they've got now to what they had with the Outlaws and Beyond War games there, where it just looks a bit too awkward.
Yeah, it's got more shelf presence, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, the new logo's working wonders as well. I think.
Yeah, it looks great.
I think that version gets quite a lot of hate. They're like, I'm not sure what they call it. Because you got like the stacked version, the diamond version, and
Horizontal?
horizontal, yeah, something like that probably.
I don't know.
But I think it
There's
works
so many.
quite well on the spine.
Hmm.
Yeah. And it also doesn't jar with the other logo.
Yes.
Like the
yeah.
way it's presented like that. Like I was debating, do I start like a separate rate shelf for the 2023 ones?
decisions.
Yeah. But no, it actually does look fine next to them. So yeah, I suppose it's just the thing of, can we keep this consistent now? Like we had this with Shades of Fear, we've got it with Demon Song. Is it the same? It's the same with all of Space and Time as well, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah. Is it going to stay this way when Return of Joe Jones shows up, or is there going to be a spanner in the works? Because this is Big Finish. We can't have
Yeah.
nice things when it comes to shelf consistency.
They don't know what consistency is in terms of like actual physical product.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know what you think of that in the comments if you're someone who gets as into that sort of weird thing as we do. But yeah, hello Dragon Bugs and hello Joe Bowers. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, hello. Thanks for joining on Red Nose Day. So yeah, I think the Doctor Who skits finished. I think I don't know if there's any more.
Yeah. I saw like a couple of screenshots out on Twitter, but yeah, I think it is more just a skit, isn't it? It's not
Yeah.
a minisode or special scene or trailer or anything. Just a fun little skit, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went into work with my a red shirt on today. That was about as
on
red
brand.
nose as I got.
On brand. Hey, that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah. How about you? What have you been up to, Ben?
I finished The Last of Us.
Did you binge the last few episodes then?
Yeah, I fell behind on like the last 3, so I finished that. Really good stuff. Really good
It's
stuff.
so hard hitting, isn't it?
It is. It is. I wanted a bit more from the finale in the sense that I wanted it just to be a bit longer.
I know what you mean. I think it gets everything it needs to.
Yeah, I think
And
it
I
could have
feel like-
explored the medical side instead of just going, yeah, bye Joel, and then it's like, right, rampage time.
Yeah. I suppose the thing is, you sort of needs that ambiguity there, though, with the site. Like, 'cause ultimately, they're not going to explain too much to Joel on that side of things.
I mean, he knew where the thing they were operating. So I'm like, he's a clever man for being a contractor.
Yeah. It was. I think it did the right amount of like leaving you wanting more but not needing more.
I was happy with where it
Like the
ended.
series as
Like,
a whole.
Yeah.
The giraffe scene as well. It's just.
You really got the Joel and Ellie dynamic. Like they've all sort of fallen.
Casting is perfect.
Oh yeah, really. Oh, so good.
I think it was good that they left Ashley Johnson's cameo to the last episode, where she was playing Ellie's mum and played Ellie in the video game.
Okay.
Yeah, because for those who obviously would have known her original portrayal as Ellie, I think had you had that too early on, it would have made it harder to accept Bella Ramsey as Ellie.
There always was going to be a backlash, and people just need to get over it because I think Bella Ramsey is so good as Ellie.
And also, in terms of the story, it makes sense for that flashback to come along here as well with where things are going to go. But yeah, just a brilliant series.
Yeah, I'm tempted to pick it up physically because I enjoyed it that much.
Okay for it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how well HBO does with that. I think they do somewhat well, don't they? They actually they do release this stuff, unlike Disney Plus.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure how long it takes.
I think it's coming out June or July, so it's not that long.
Oh, really. That's pretty decent, really. Are you going to go Steelbook?
I think I might. Because it deserves it.
Yeah,
it's good enough.
I haven't seen whatever the cover is, but I imagine it's a belter of a cover.
Yeah, I think it's like an infected person.
I see.
But yeah,
look out for that in a collection update in the coming.
the Pedro Pascal collection update.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Come out at the same time as the new Mando figure.
That probably would be as well, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Ooh. Have you seen the latest Mando? Speaking of,
I have.
what did you think?
first 10 minutes, oh yeah, good Mando, and then it's like, oh, we're in Andor territory again.
I think one of my favorite comments I've seen on it is, "Mum, can we have Andor?" No, we have Andor at home. Andor at
Yeah,
home. It's not bad. I like that it's
yeah,
doing something different. It's a good bit of world building, but at the same time, it does grate a bit when you like compare that to the political stuff we saw in Mon Mothma in
mm,
Andor,
yeah,
and just like you've seen it done so much better in some ways, and you can tell why Andor didn't go for as many alien creatures as it did, because the Mon Calamari, it was a bit
yeah.
iffy. This isn't the Empire, son.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah,
I think there's definitely some. I think I sent you a message saying it feels like Chris Chibnall wrote this episode at times,
yeah,
because you have like a line. He picks up biscuits that are obviously the Imperial biscuits. It's the Imperial shortbread. Doesn't
mm,
that look like? And he says ration biscuits. It's like, yeah, I
yeah.
got
We
that
know.
now. Thank you. So there's another moment as well where it's like very obvious what just happened, and then suddenly a character's. Oh, it's when Bo's home gets blown up, and she said those mud scuffers just blew up my home. It's like, yes, I did just see that. I am watching the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I think it hurts when it's like the next episode's like 36 minutes. You're like, you've waited nearly 3 years for it. You're like, okay, guys.
I think it also just feels a bit tame as well when it's mud scuffers, when we've just gone through Andor, and
Yeah,
it's like those bastards. It's like,
yeah. You'll have full on.
yeah, you get Fiona Shaw really going for it when she
Mm.
says those lines, and then you have Katie Sackhoff just giving a bit of a "those mud scuffers blew up my home."
But
It's not bad acting, but it's just when you compare what you had in Andor.
I think Andor and Mando have both different target audiences, though, really.
I've seen people saying Mando's almost a children's show in the way it's done, like
Yeah, I
written.
think Mando
I
does
can
have
see.
that.
I mean, yeah, Andor definitely is less child friendly,
Mm.
but yeah, I'm still. I did enjoy the episode though. I feel like
Yeah,
it was a fun time, but yeah, there are certain shortcomings that Andor has just made even more obvious at times.
yeah, that is true. Andor was
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I've seen some people though complaining about Mando taking this side episode. Like, I think you had great Mando action at the start and some interesting
Hmm.
developments at the end, and what you got in the middle was still an interesting bit of world building. I think.
Yeah, because it's
Like,
like he can't shake off the cult.
yeah.
He's obsessed with that. You can't leave that cult quite easy.
It's
Do you
interesting
think?
now seeing Bo getting sucked into it.
Yeah,
I just hope that the series does end with the conclusion that yeah, cults are bad, because it
yeah.
does feel a bit worrying at the moment. Like, is this him getting sucked back in, or is this like, is it intentional on their part, or are they just going, yeah, this is a good thing, he's accepted again?
Because like you get in like Book of Boba Fett when he says that he took his helmet off, but he's kind of past that because he's kind of learned from like series 2 with like Bova and Boba. He's like taking his helmet off left, right, and center. That you can do that and have no shame and still have your same beliefs.
Yeah, it's like you are still a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I think that's ultimately where the series needs to go. But also, they do have the issue of, you've got Pedro Pascal. He's a very busy actor. He's off doing The Last of Us, amongst other things.
Hmm.
Like, how long are you going to get him there to go around with his helmet off? Because it's not often him in the costume.
Yeah.
It's usually just him doing the lines, and then they got the stunt doubles going around.
But I
So.
don't think he'll give it up because I think he loves Mando too much.
Oh, he definitely loves Mando a lot and will happily do that. And I imagine the Disney money and sway will keep him coming there.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, part of the reason the show is a bit, I don't want to say easier for them to produce, but it probably does smooth some things out that you don't always have to have Pedro there.
Yeah.
It probably would slow down the production a bit if the character was taking his helmet off left, right, and center. So it's all like that wrangling of where the plot's going to go and what they can feasibly do with it. Because I mean, even in this episode, you had Bo not taking her helmet off the whole time, and that obviously did go somewhere plot-wise. But you also wonder, was that also so that they could give Katie Sackhoff a bit of a break from the production schedule?
I think that was her though, because she said that she found it a challenge.
Oh, maybe
Yeah,
not
she
then.
did say. Yeah, she did say. She's a tweet.
Because it wouldn't surprise me if with Book of Boba Fett, part of the reason we got the Boba Fett light episodes is because of how much more he takes his helmet off. So you just need, especially with Temuera Morrison being an older actor as well, probably does need a bit more time away from that. And like with the makeup as well, they have to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wonder if that played into it at all. But speaking of that,
Mm-hmm.
it was much better having a main character light episode where the character it was focusing on instead didn't already have their own show.
Yes.
Because it's probably the best episode of Book of Boba Fett Chapter 5.
Oh yeah.
It's a Mando episode, whereas this, at least, it's focusing on a character who won't have their own spin-off.
It's all gonna lead to somewhere. So
yeah. And I imagine this is stuff we probably would have seen in Rangers of the New Republic had that show not gone off in the direction it has into development hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's enough Mando talk because
enough Mando.
It's a Doctor Who stream.
It's a Doctor Who stream. We'll talk about that when we finish.
Just taking a look at the chat. Joe Bauer says, apparently Wendy Padbury let slip at an event last week that she had been recording with Michael and Fraser recently. My bet it's for next year's 2DAs. Yeah, I think we heard as well. I'm not sure that it was you, Joe, or someone else in our chat mentioned that Michael said he was recording like 3 box sets in the coming weeks.
Yeah,
that would have been about a month back now, I think. So yeah, I wonder if that does line up. If Wendy recorded it recently and Michael said he was going to be recording shortly, that would line up with them.
And it makes you think: are they increasing the output for 1 and 2 as well?
Hopefully so. I mean, I wonder if it could be. So, like, either you're bringing Zoe back for Beyond Wargames stuff, or could this be a story?
Lost Story?
Yeah, Lost Story or something with Zoe there.
Operation Werewolf?
Maybe. I'd love that.
Just have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's nice to see them stepping up that output as well. I'm not sure how I feel about Zoe coming back for more Beyond Wargame stuff, because then it just feels like if you're getting them all there together, what's the point? Why not just do stories set before?
We'll just have to wait and see. See.
Yeah. Daniel Hager, welcome.
Hello.
Hi guys, how are you tonight? We are doing quite well.
Yeah, not bad. Good to be here.
I've been listening to the Peterloo Massacre.
That's next week.
Yeah, I'll be starting on Waterstamp Stand tonight, hopefully, and then going through the trilogy Aquitaine and then Peterloo Massacre after that. But it is Peter Davison at his best, says Daniel Hager.
I agree.
From memory, he gives a very strong performance there.
Especially when he's confronting Hurley.
Konnichiwa, Mr. Monkcactus.
Konnichiwa. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm watching too much anime, am I?
Mate, get into the spirit.
We are not to judge. Oh, Joe Bauer says that was me. That was me as a fourth Doctor in Robots of Death. You're giving us all the second Doctor scoops, thank you, Jay.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of a streamer a couple of weeks ago, our Demon Song stream, they've added auto chapters in. YouTube has.
Right.
I don't know if you've noticed this.
No, I've not noticed this at all.
because it seems they go around like random streams and it's auto-generated stuff. 'Cause I was
Right.
looking into it. I wasn't sure if you did it or not, but then I saw
No.
it says these are auto done, and so they've given like things, chapter names,
Right.
and it's almost creepy because it must be AI done. Just how they work out like when conversations change. Like I'm assuming it goes off visual stuff as well. You know,
Okay.
based on when we throw up the news.
Yeah.
But I think the funniest part of it is,
Oh no.
so when we were talking about your birthday,
Right.
they've nicknamed that little chapter Existential Crisis.
To be fair, that is true. That is true.
I mean, we said it ourselves during it, and we were talking
Yeah,
about
it's
that.
true.
But it's just funny how that's what the algorithm honed in on us. Yes, this is what this section is called.
I mean, that crisis is still very much happening.
The new, yeah, it's got things like the news, the Fifth Doctor, strange chemistry, lost stories. It does a surprisingly good job of breaking it up.
Well done,
Like,
AI.
yeah, like there's some slips, like lost stories. We move on to talk about Once and Future, and it's
Right.
still calling it Lost Stories until we start
Okay.
talking about the limited edition side of Once and Future. Then it renames that limited edition. So,
Hmm.
but nevertheless, for an AI done work, it is scary. Like it's got Spearhead Live in here as a section, Toy
Right.
Talk, Black Series, action figures.
Hey, it's
Like
doing all right.
these upcoming videos, stream schedule, thoughts on season 3.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's scary in a way,
Yeah.
and
it is.
amusing in others.
Hmm.
Yeah. There's one that it calls Never Let. I think that's a bit of a error, but you know, for what? Nevertheless,
Yeah.
I don't know if this one will get it because it seems to
It probably
be
will.
random. Because it hasn't done last week's one, and it hasn't done Kaleidoscope either, so it seems to choose them at random. But
Okay.
maybe we're invoking it by talking about maybe the algorithm will
Yeah.
seek us out and grab us up.
We say the words and it will appear.
Good evening, guys. Hope you've had a good week. Just checked out the St. Patrick's Day sale. I already have them all, says Trevor Hicks. Thank
Evening,
you. Hope
Trevor.
you've had a good week as well. It's just Dark Eyes, isn't it? Oh, and Book of Kells.
Yeah.
It's crazy seeing all the Dark Eyes for 10 quid, though.
I mean, it's tempting to pick up like the first two, so I have it in my Big Finish account, but I don't know if I want to be that frivolous.
Yeah, especially with all the recent announcements.
Yeah, I'm like, do I save that 20 quid and put it to something new? Or I'll probably leave it. I'll pass.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is going to be the cheapest it's at, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine so.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't see it getting much cheaper than this. Oh, and also $12.49 for physical. So yeah, definitely worth going for if you've not already got these.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth it. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few sales going on at the minute, which is nice.
Yeah. Is that historical sale still going on?
Yeah, the historical sale's still going on, so check out that video.
Yeah. And the little historical sales recommendations. So worth a look if you're interested in that.
I still don't get why the comic adaptations are there, but
I suppose because of the Romans.
Yeah,
that's the only. I mean, even though it's technically present day alternative history, but yeah, I mean, it's got the Colosseum and stuff, so I suppose it sort of fits that vibe. Imagine they just want to get rid of it because it's like a thick one, so it probably takes up more room in the warehouse.
And I think with Beep the Meep,
yeah,
they're gonna want to flog it as well. So
yeah,
buy it.
true.
Buy it. It's a good set. Good set.
Yeah. I mean, should we take a look at the other bits of news? Or
yeah, we can do.
Been a bit more of a quiet week. It feels more like one where they're just filling out gaps, really.
Yes.
Like updating cast and crew details on the sly. for the most part. Yeah, I mean, we did get Daleks Genesis of Terror cast details, but that's it. Yeah, we've
Not
got
really a surprise.
we got a new Nida with Samuel Clements.
Mm.
Yeah, but yeah, there's not really anything that jumps out there as this
Different.
screams very different. Like, it does just feel like characters from Genesis of the Daleks recast.
It's a weird oddity.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Great cover though. I still love the cover.
Oh, it's a brilliant cover. Yeah, Terry Malloy's Davros doesn't stand out at all either.
No,
Like,
it
he fits in
doesn't.
there quite nicely. I wonder if we'll be seeing some of these actors over on the Ark as well, because we know Terry Malloy's in both because he's on the cover for the Ark.
I imagine so for production cost.
Yeah, because it looks like these were all recorded about the same time.
And plus, it's like, hey, we know you only got one episode being these characters, so we'll give you a proper full one.
Yeah, so I'd be surprised if Terry has more than like 2 lines. Like, because he'll probably just be mostly the same scene from the end of the weapons testing, I imagine.
Yeah, that'll what it be. Unless I guess he'll record like a bit of the script.
Yeah, he'll probably be doing one of the episodes. But yeah, it's still an oddity. I don't know quite what I make of it yet. It's going to be one of those things where I have to listen to decide whether or not I think it was worth doing, or if it's just a bit of a milking of the Genesis name.
I mean, it's got a hard thing to follow, hasn't it? Really, Genesis of the Daleks.
Yeah, and when it's an earlier version of that, you think surely it's going to improve as it goes through that development.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we were big fans of Return of the Cybermen.
That one worked out quite nicely. But I think that sort of has the aid of Revenge not being that well regarded.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, so it's almost like a attempt to redo it. Whereas this, it's Genesis of the Daleks. It is the classic Doctor Who story.
Yeah.
I don't know how much there is really to get away with this one. It's not going to have
to wait and see.
Yeah.
It's not far now.
No. I mean, we could have had it by now.
Yeah, technically.
The delay, because it was originally scheduled for March. But, do we have a talk about the Warriors' Comrades in Arms?
Yeah, we can do. We can do have a quick little chat about that.
Yeah. It looks like they're going for a bit of an overarching story, but in the same way as Infernal Devices was, where it's like the stories link.
It's just an overall theme.
Reach their overall one. Because it seems like Case is going to be in all of these. And going for it's going to be like a battle for her soul. But I mean, are you still excited for this one after?
I think so, because I really enjoyed He Who Fights Monsters. And I think that's a thing. When a box set leaves you such a good taste in your mouth, like Old Friends, you can't help but get excited and, get excited for the next set, really.
Yeah. I mean, is Rob Valentine involved in this at all? Is he script editing? Or is it Matt Fitton? Matt Fitton. Yeah, no involvement at all from Rob Valentine, who wrote all of the previous box set. But, I'm just worried that it's going to turn out that He Who Fights with Monsters was an outlier, and this is like return to more of the same, really. Yeah. Because I had sort of had it in my head that I wasn't not enjoying The War Doctor Begins, but it was something that I could do without.
Yeah, you could cut back on it.
Because certainly, there's just so much Big Finish. That's the truth of it. And you have those box sets that you buy, and then you just don't really get around to for months sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was me with War Doctor Begins, really. It was like, I've got it, I'll get around to it one day. Only He Who Fights Monsters really broke that trend. And after the 4th volume, they announced that run and 4. I was like, right, I'm free now. I don't have to worry. And then they announced 2 more, and I'm torn. So we'll see. Because it could be good.
Yeah, it's like me with Eccleston. I'm like, oh, it was a rough ride, but it's Eccleston, so they might have a few surprises.
We'll see. Time Slips Back for those who are interested in that.
All 3 people, I don't know. I'm surprised, really, because they've been put on warehouse clearance.
Yeah, they have. I did read the article. It turns out these were planned to be done back in 2020.
Okay.
But then locked out. So this is something that they've had in the works for a while. They just couldn't get it into studio.
See, I was thinking, are they giving it a second crack of the whip because the first 2 were released in COVID, so maybe that would have affected sales, but then again, everybody was at home.
Yeah, it seemed to improve it. If anything, like Susan's War benefited, didn't they?
Yeah, I think that was the first story to be released in the Dark Time. That's weird. That's literally 3 years ago. Wow.
Yeah, that is terrifying.
Ooh.
It just feels like such an alien time as well.
It
like
does,
the idea of sitting on our homes the whole time.
The lost years.
Yeah, the battle for toilet roll.
Literally. And that's a battle of tomatoes.
Yeah. The veg is going. UFO came out. Some more Jerry Anderson stuff and another Torchwood cover and details with Among Us 2. I wasn't sure about this cover until I looked at it side by side with the Among Us 1 cover.
Okay.
And they work very well together.
Oh, that's good.
I know Sean Longmore's sort of not in the 8th Doctor, What Lies Inside and Connections way. It doesn't join up, but it's just very like the same base with the character in the middle, of like Yvonne and Gwen. It's once you see it, you realise what I'm going.
Yeah,
but yeah, they do seem to work together, and he has put out on Twitter saying, there is that theme there, and there will be another character front and center in the 3rd one. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Yanto's back as like presumably a hard light hologram type thing.
It looks like it.
Yeah, similar to what Norton Folgate was in Ghost Mission, his first story. Yeah, so I mean, I'm still not picking it up, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's just like it's too much baggage there, too much stuff to get in the past, sadly. But it does look interesting. Like you've got an episode where, what's Murray Melvin's character called again?
Billis
Manager is in the hub, just hanging about, and it seems some urban explorers are getting in there at the same time.
All right.
Yeah. So that seems like an interesting premise for a story. I'm curious how Among Us is going to work, because it seems like a lot of standalone stories just can't. But I mean, I guess I'm happy being in the dark with it, though.
Yeah, it's not a big issue.
Yeah, I won't die wondering what happened in Among Us.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's pretty much for news, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a slow week, really. But we had some good stuff last week and the week before, so we're happy.
Yeah, we've been eating good, so it's not like it's bad. I'm sure we'll get a big week soon with more Once and Future news, which you can check out our video if you're a bit confused what Once and Future is. You can check out our video covering every detail so far.
Yeah, that was a good bit of fun to do, and hopefully has helped some people out as well.
Yeah, we aim to help people out.
It's public information.
Yeah.
Transmission.
It's not like we've got any insider info on any of these things.
Yeah, we're doing a public service.
Yeah, we are. We're flogging Big Finish.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if Big Finish want to sponsor us, please, by all means.
We are
We
more than
appreciate
happy.
it. More than happy.
Affiliate link or something. I don't know. What
Yeah,
they do.
affiliate link. I don't know. We'll do anything.
Well, let's not get carried away.
Within reason. Within reason. We have standards, I guess.
And if you do work with Big Finish, this is your opportunity to leave now because we're probably about to slag off Return of Joe Jones.
You might be.
We'll see. You're gonna slag off some of it.
Yes. Should we go on to our review, shall we?
Should we just read the last little bits of chat?
Yeah,
first?
sure.
Yeah, Daniel Hager's been saying, I loved Cold Fusion as it is a 5th Doctor story with the 7th Doctor in it, but I love the 6th part and it is the best of the novel adaptations, I'm assuming. Yeah. We did a novel adaptation tier list, didn't we, about this time last year?
I think, yeah, that was about May, June.
Yeah, I can't quite remember where Cold Fusion turned up.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
It's a decent one.
It's not the best 5th Doctor 6-parter.
No, definitely not. Yeah, check out Autumn Infinity for that.
Yeah, that's some good Davo.
Yeah, and I mean, as we've said, more Davison coming next week.
Yeah, Davo special.
And Mr. Boncactus also says Stingray Adventure incoming. So, got a Stingray fan among us, it seems.
Hey, among us.
Oh, glad you are looking forward to that. Oh, The Return of Joe Jones was me, the first 3rd Doctor box set I was disappointed with.
Okay, we're setting the tone. I think we're on the same lines, I think.
Here we go. I mean, okay, thank you, Trevor Hicks, for that brilliant segue into our review now. We can talk.
So, batting, bada boom. There it is.
Yeah. I mean, for those who don't know much about this set, it is the latest 3rd Doctor Adventures story starring Tim Trelaw as the 3rd Doctor. He's been doing this for 11 volumes now.
Along 2015?
Along with some
Nearly
other
10
little
years.
stories on the side. And basically, Katie Manning, she's getting older, and it's becoming harder and harder for her to sustain the younger Joe voice that she's been doing. Because even back in the 70s, she was putting on like a lower voice, higher voice, wasn't she? Whereas she had a more naturally lower voice that would sometimes slip out, and John would joke that the lorry drivers come out.
Yeah.
And so, understandably for that, she wanted to play the more older Joe Jones character instead. And so they worked a way out that they could get around the lines in Sarah Jane Adventures where Joe met the 11th Doctor, and it seemed that they hadn't met each other since those times. That's all explained away in the first story of this set, Supernature. And then from there, it's just basically them traveling together again for a couple of 2-parters. But
the thing is, this isn't a new idea for Big Finish, and I think this, like, I don't want to say it rubs me up the wrong way, but I think it's been done better in said previous stories, in Find and Replace and The Sacrifice of Joe Grant in Legacy of Time.
I mean, it's weird that those stories don't seem to get a look in with this set.
Yeah.
They don't seem to mention the fact that that Joe's met this Doctor again since.
Because I like the idea what we were originally going for, in the form of that this is the 3rd Doctor after he leaves Metebelis free, just before he returns to Earth to regenerate. I think that would have been a much more beautiful dynamic, really. Sort of a bit like the 10th Doctor's glory lap, really.
Yeah, just him getting to say goodbye to Joe one last time. And maybe a bit like what we had with the 11th Doctor in Time of the Doctor, where Amy turns up. It's on those lines, isn't it, where he gets one last hurrah with his best friend before he drifts silently into the night. And that was what Matt Fitton originally pitched for this story, but it was decided that instead they wanted to go further with it and have Joe Jones stick around. So instead, it's set between the Green Death and the Time Warrior.
Which I think raises again another awkward question of that when Joe left the Doctor, it hit him hard, and I don't really think you get that emotional beat for him.
No, not really. I mean, you get the fact that he's been staying away from Earth. Certainly 70s Earth. So, he's avoiding the brig for a bit.
Or is it 80s? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, true. Somewhat contemporary Earth for the time.
Yeah.
And, that's got to line up because in Invasion of the Dinosaurs, Mike mentions that after the whole maggot situation, he took a spot of leave, came back, and then the dinosaurs flared up. So it's clear that at least for UNIT, there's not much of a gap between the Green Death and the Time Warrior / Invasion of the Dinosaurs. Big Finish were able to squeeze Terror of the Master in there, though. But
yeah,
that's it. So yeah, Third Doctor's instead off traveling in time and space. You get a modern day story in this, and then 2 stories set in the future. First one, Supernature, is written by Matt Fitton. Second one, The Conservators, it's by Felicia Barker. And the third one, The Iron Shore, is by Lizzie Hopley. And they're all 2-parters, so something a bit different for the Third Doctor Adventures range. And I didn't mind that in principle. I think you're much more strict when it comes to, no, it has to be 4-parters, 5-parters, 6-parters, or 7-parters. It has to be what the Third Doctor had in his era.
See, I think this lies a problem with this release. I wouldn't mind it if it was a 2-parter, if it leaned into the more new series style in terms of the sound design and music. And I think
and the writing as well.
And the writing, yeah. I think the problem lies is the Third Doctor Adventure range is so engrossed into recreating an era. I think it's the closest Big Finish go all out to recreating the wacky 70s music. And I don't think the tones work for it because it's kind of, you've got the new element of Joe with the 70s Doctor. It doesn't really land and gel for me.
Like, she's even referencing the 11th Doctor as well.
Yeah.
And so it just feels like this should have been more new series, not just in the sound design, but in the writing as well. I think they could have really pushed that and had this been, Third Doctor in the new series. And we've seen that work with Classic Doctor's New Monsters, the house that Hawks built.
Yes.
Very nicely merges the styles of, the 70s, like, futuristic stories with the Third Doctor.
And Demon Song as well, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Does it for the First Doctor. So it's not an unheard of thing to contemporize classic Doctors.
But it just seems that they couldn't quite decide what they wanted to go with. So different stories seem to do different things, and some stories are weirdly maybe trying to do both at the same time. And it's like, it's a bit all over the place when it comes to that tone. And I think it's nice that Tim and Katie have been able to build up this rapport.
Yes.
So that when it comes to it being older Joe, it still hits right because you're not seeing Tim as an imposter. They already have.
This is the closest Tim sounds to John. There were moments in stories where like that is John.
Yeah. But I think at the same time, there's always going to be this feeling when it comes to older companion meeting their Doctor again that it doesn't quite feel right of it being a recast. And I mean, not that there's anything Big Finish or Tim can do about that. It just is unfortunate that it's not going to hit us in the feels the same way, especially since it's something we've seen anyway, and we've had loads of Joe. I mean, not just Joe Grant in the Third Doctor Adventures, but Joe Jones in different series as well. Like, she popped up last year in the 8th of March. So, it feels more like a logistical
we've seen sort of the
thing.
power. Yeah. Well, go on.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, like, we've seen how emotional those stories can hit you, like Power of the Doctor, where we have Tegan seeing the Fifth Doctor again. You know the power those stories can have on you as a fan. So yeah.
I mean, I think at least one thing this does have going for it conceptually is the loss of Cliff Jones.
Yes.
Because that wasn't always going to be the case. That was something that came along during development because originally Stuart Bevan was even going to appear in this box set, wasn't he? The first story, at least, and have like a scene waving Joe off effectively. But with the passing of Stuart Bevan, they instead decided to repurpose it and have the character have passed on by the time the story starts. And so you've got Jo in mourning, and then suddenly the Third Doctor's thrown back into her life. And so with that, I think that works quite nicely. It's quite sweet that Katie did get to have some creative input into how that was handled. But yeah, as we said, there's quite a lot of other things that just don't work about this set.
Yeah, so if we talk about the first story, Supernature, by Matt Fitton.
Yeah, let's go for it, because that's probably the weakest.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
It's a bit awkward that you got the seagulls on the cover, because the way this story works, what it's about is, there's inland birds attacking like swimmers and, holiday makers and stuff, just people around the islands. And there's a mystery as to why the birds are behaving this way. But it's specifically said that it's more the inland ones, like flying out of their habitat, something's wrong with nature. And so, why is it the gulls on the cover?
Yeah.
Oh, and they're more iconic.
Yeah.
But it does raise a couple of questions.
Because this is a chunky two-parter. It's about, 35 minutes?
Yeah, it is. It lasts a long while.
And the plot is pretty paper thin. Like, I think the story relies quite a lot on its characters, and I think the characters are what sort of carry this adventure.
There's not a bad lot of characters. I quite like Lorna.
Yeah.
Jo's old doctor friend.
I just find it interesting that Demon Song, you've got sort of like a podcaster in this. You've got, again, a similar character in this.
Yeah, with Al.
In the space of a week, you have kind of a similar type thing.
I mean, I don't think Al has anything on
Daniel Diart.
Hunter Fred, Daniel Diart.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not quite on the same level.
Yeah, different leagues, I'd say.
But I think what's also a bit awkward about this one is how it very much throws you into things early on. Like I quite like conceptually the idea of the Third Doctor breaking into this facility.
It's very Green Death.
It's nicely harkening back to that, which makes sense for the story that they reunite in. But it feels like they almost go into that too quickly, and then you're just left with nothing in the middle. Like there's no build up to the reveal of what's going on. It's very early, revealed who's behind this and pretty much how they're doing it.
Yeah.
And so there's no mystery there. It's more just let's hide here and have a chat while the birds fly overhead.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't do much for me this one, I'll be honest.
It was a slog. And it's weird that two-parters often feel more sluggish to me than quite a lot of four-parters or even six-parters. Like, I don't know what it is, but it seems like that pace is a harder one to manage. It's not always the case. There's some very good, 1 hour long stories out there from Big Finish. But personally, I do prefer the longer form of storytelling.
Yes,
I think that's where a lot of the gems are to be found.
Well, it allows the stories to breathe.
It's weird. The 1 hour ones feel more rushed, but also more of a slog at the same time. Especially when they're chunky ones like this, where it's like an hour and 15 minutes, pretty much, when you put it all together.
Yeah, you feel like you're getting your money's worth, and you're like, is it really worth it when you're listening to it?
Yeah. I mean, there's certain Fourth Doctor adventures that do it brilliantly, like Series 5. All the 2-parters in that are like 8, 9, 10 out of 10s.
I think that's a shame because they got the format right, and it's like, right, we're going to switch now, and you're like, no.
Supernature really didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, left a bit of a sour taste, I would say.
Yeah, I know it's quite a nice final scene between the Third Doctor and Jo. But even then, it doesn't make up for the rest of the story, really. But yeah, shall we talk about Conservators?
Yeah, I think this is my favourite of the set.
Mine too.
I think this had the new series flair and charm with like Jo, leaving the TARDIS for the first time again. I think that was really well done.
Yeah, she's like got her eyes closed. If you've seen the trailer, that's where this one comes from. Yeah, it's a wonderful little scene there. She's taken in an alien planet again. It's got that nice little joy, and it's a nice contrast to her first visit to an alien planet in Colony in Space.
Yes,
it has a nice little mirroring there, I suppose. But yeah, this story is basically set on a planet where risk is controlled by the government, really. It's like the ultimate looking over your shoulder Big Brother type planet, isn't it?
Where I think that's what makes it feel new series and very Barry Letts, because it resonates with what's going on in today's world, I feel.
I think it's also perfect for a story with older Jo. Like, this isn't just one you can swap out Jo Jones and Jo Grant in. This is very specifically made for Jo Jones because
she's leading it. She's rescuing the Doctor. The roles have reversed, really.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And also in the way it's built around risk, because now you've got someone who is a lot older and so is at more risk in this lifestyle, and also has a family now. Like, she's got 7 children, however many grandchildren, a great grandchild. Like, it's wonderful how that is worked into the story, and it's just, the right for risk, really. And it's a wonderful exploration of that within the text.
I think as well, it has the moments you want from Free and Jo. Like the joy that the Doctor's been neutralized, he can't leave the cell, but you just have them giggling about it, and you're just like, that's why I love these two characters.
Yeah, that is wonderful stuff there. And I think also it gives me a bit of a Day of the Daleks vibe, I told you.
I get that with Colony as well, with like the big robot things, like the Conservators themselves.
Yeah, I could bet. Like, there's a scene where they mention that they've landed in a bit of wasteland, and it just instantly put me in mind of, that sort of Day of the Dalek settings. Yeah, you've got like underground meetings and stuff as well. It's all pretty, 70s stuff, but recontextualized into, a more modern viewpoint, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I think that it is the story that gets that tonally the best. I'd say it's definitely the one that worked the most for me.
Yeah.
I think it's also just nice how this casually throws in a non-binary character, and it's no big deal.
Yeah.
It's nice how that representation is worked in here as well. And I think with Jo, she is just friendly to anyone, really.
Yeah. I mean, that's Katie Manning as well, really.
Yeah, she's a wonderful human being, and it carries
double of energy.
Jo Jones as well. But yeah, she's getting to go around with a sonic screwdriver at times as well.
Yeah, Doctor
Like,
can't
yeah.
use it because he's a risk, so he can't have that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all good stuff, really.
But it's
And
nice how that's cleverly worked into it. And I love the resolution as well in this. I think that's a very clever one, the way it builds to that and the reveal of what has societally built up to this point.
Yeah, great confrontations as well with the Third Doctor and like Malbo before he gets neutralized. Like, yeah, you've got the classic locking of horns, authoritarian Third Doctor, which I like, and I think Tim excels at that.
He does. Yeah, he's on full force in this one. Yeah. And I think you hear that wonderful line from Jo in the trailer where she says, if you forbid something completely, you guarantee it will happen. And that's sort of what this set is about, really. Or not this story, sorry. Yeah, so that is wonderfully worked in there. It did sort of give me the vibe as well of a middle of the box set Sixth Doctor and Perry type of story.
Yeah, I can see that with the more sort of futuristic elements like flying cars and all that.
Yeah, it's all like your basic revolution on a
uprising.
On a colony planet. It fits that tone. I think it does feel like something we've heard quite a few times before, but it's done well enough here.
Yes.
Oh, Stylish One says, hello, sorry I'm late. No worries.
No
Thank
problem.
you for joining us, Stylish One.
No
Always
problem.
a pleasure. And Trevor Hicks says, I hope they have not abandoned the 2 4-parter box sets. I feel like they probably have, because now it's down to 3 discs. I mean, we could get something like Beyond War Games, but I don't know if they do a short 4th Doctor.
Maybe 4 and a 2, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we've not seen the end of 4-parters. We'll see more 4-parters, but yeah, I think we have seen the end of 2 4-parters in the same set, sadly. Slash one says, to go back to earlier, yeah, Wendy Padbury said that she was getting her memories back. So Beyond War Games. Oh, there we go.
Right.
Wendy is letting a lot slip.
Wendy just does not care.
She's not bothered.
Oh dear.
I saw she put out on Twitter that she was going to be at another conventional meet and greet scene. So someone could pry for more details there.
She'd be like, I'm recording this collection set. It's coming out, Liz.
Yeah, she could. Oh, I don't. Will she know which? Oh, she could just say which Doctor it is, and people can work out from there.
Yeah, we'll soon figure out because we're like that.
Yeah. I wonder if that'd be like older Zoe on the cover then.
I mean, it makes sense because again, we've kind of had Zoe getting her memories back in the Companion Chronicles, so hey, why not do it full cast? I don't know. I feel like we're treading old ground again. If it is that.
It does feel like with Big Finish this is a trend, and this does loop back into the return of Jo Jones, because obviously this is something they've done before in Companion Chronicles and Legacy of Time. It feels like there was stuff that they did back when it was Companion Chronicles. They thought, oh, we're never going to get a chance to do full cast stuff, so we might as well just burn through all the big juicy stuff. And now suddenly they've got to full cast stuff, and they're like, we kind of want to do that again.
Speaking of Companion Chronicle, I think the Iron Shore feels very much like a Companion Chronicle.
It does, doesn't it? It has got that narration within there from Joe's point of view.
It does feel like a Companion Chronicle that's been adapted.
With it being a 2-parter as well.
Yeah, I really have that feeling for it.
Actually, yeah, I can see it very easily, because none of the characters feel that impressive beyond them, so you could see it like just being Jo and one other character, and then Katie reading in for the rest of them.
Yeah, you can imagine like the man who is cursed being the person who is the other cast member.
Being those two. Yeah, because like Tambor as a character is very empty, really. Like he has a few moments.
Yeah,
but I did find it funny where Jo says in the in one of her narration bits, she's talking about what Tambor's doing, and so she starts off the line, "What Tambor?" And I was immediately thinking of the Star Wars trade federation, whatever he is. I
Yeah,
think. Oh no, he's
Watambo?
Techno Union. What Tambor? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's for those who don't know but do know, like the Attack of the Clones prequel memes. He's the one who's like got the knobs on his chest and stuff,
Yeah.
and the pressure suit, and he goes, "The Techno Union is at your disposal, Count."
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just completely unrelated to Return of Joe Jones, but it was just funny hearing Katie say "What Tambor," even though it's completely different context.
Yeah. I liked the cold opening for this story.
I thought, did I stick on part 2 by accident?
Yeah, I did have that. And then you're like, oh, okay, we're gonna loop back round to this in like halfway through part 2.
Yeah, it was an interesting way to go about it. I mean, it seems so. For this story, there's pretty much a man who's been cursed and a wet dock that the curse seems to emanate from. And the Doctor and Joe attempt to solve this on this alien planet. But originally, the story, when it was first pitched by Lizzie Hopley, was going to be set in Liverpool. And
Makes
so
sense.
you can see a lot of that stuff like carried over. And I mean, I recently listened to another sort of horror story, but more horror story actually than this, from Lizzie Hopley in Unit's Brave New World Visitants. It was the second story in that, Haunts, that's what it's called. And so that was also up Merseyside way. About a haunted hotel. And I think listening to that first definitely didn't do this story any favors, because it is so much better.
I think I enjoyed
love
it more than what you say.
Yeah, I love Haunt. Get onto that. Get onto the Unit Brave New World stuff. Bambera is a banger. But yeah, this is sort of going for something similar to that. And I feel like it would have been better had they stuck with the Liverpool setting.
I think it would have made more sense, because you've got your contemporary, present day, you've got your future. Why not do a past story in the 70s? So you're bringing Joe back into that Third Doctor's environment.
Yeah, or I mean, you don't even have to go 70s. You can go even further back, like maybe Industrial
20s.
Revolution time or something. Yeah, 20s. You know, the world's your oyster with this one. But instead, we left the world entirely and gone to a different one to create a society that's sort of similar to ours, really. But it's not even a colony world, is it? It's completely set. Where it's got like its own shipping and stuff. The Ironshore itself, despite being a wonderful title, doesn't play much of a part in the story.
No, not really. It's all
about
contained in the wetland, isn't it? In the dock itself.
Yeah. I found it to be another slog, to be honest.
This is the quickest of the box set. Each episode's 32 minutes. So it's the quickest one. I think
it might be about the same as the Conservators, actually.
Okay.
Because I swear Conservators was about like half an hour and then 35. So I think they work out about the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just double check that. Conservators Part 1, 28. Part 2, 35. Ironshore Part 1, 32. Ironshore Part 2, 33. Exactly. So yeah, it works out about the same, maybe like 1 minute difference between them.
I think I enjoyed this one because I'm a huge fan of the Companion Chronicles. So it felt like a throwback to that in a way.
I suppose you then feel a bit more at home with the 2-part format as well.
Yeah, I think this is the one where the format didn't feel as glaringly, oh, I missed the 4-parters.
For me, I did find it to be a bit of a slog. It felt similar to Supernature. It's like everything's revealed early on. Like, you know mostly what it is. You know where the curse is coming from with the wet dock. And so it's just sort of standing around waiting a lot of the time.
I mean, I like the atmosphere for it and the build.
Yeah, it had a good atmosphere.
It's not the golf level of all creepy water.
No. Yeah, I don't think it got me. And also, I know Lizzie Hopley can do creepy very well with Haunt.
See, I've not listened
And
to
so,
Haunt, so I guess I
yeah.
don't have that preconception.
But yeah, this didn't give me the same like, chills or scares at all.
Hmm.
No.
But yeah, an interesting box set.
I mean, potentially hot take, but I think this might be my least favorite of all the Third Doctor Adventures box sets.
Okay, even Volume 1?
That's the only one that it's in competition with. And I don't know if I'm going to go back to either of them for a re-listen anytime soon to find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't...
Should we add it to the tier list?
Let's see where these stack up.
Because it is a weird ride, this one, I feel.
Yeah. I think certainly it's left me feeling cold compared to a lot of other Third Doctor Adventures. So, I mean, Kaleidoscope, we were a bit iffy on.
Yeah.
But I think there was that desire to go back to it.
Because it was so many stories in one, wasn't it?
It was like hard to get a grasp on, really. And so I think once we'd worked that out, we were able to go back into it knowing what it was.
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas with this, I feel like it doesn't know what it is anyway. At times. But yeah. And also with Kaleidoscope, I was still having fun a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I can't say the same for the majority of Return of Jo Jones. But where would you want to go with Supernature?
Towards the bottom. I genuinely think this is one of the worst Third Doctor adventures out of the 11 volumes we've had.
Yeah, I agree there.
I feel like it belongs either here.
I'd say maybe there are times with Big Finish where you sorely try my patience.
I genuinely
it has its moments.
Yeah,
but it's like they're very isolated.
This one was the most sluggish one for me.
Yeah, it did not get things off to a strong start.
Like, it made me leave the box set for about 3 weeks. I'm like, yeah, I'm not touching it.
Yeah. Conservator is definitely the strongest.
Yes.
I'd say maybe we don't want to bear a grudge for a few bad moments.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see it's in that.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, like looking at those other ones that are in there, I think it stands shoulder to shoulder with them. I don't think it's quite Kaleidoscope or Operation Hellfire good. And now, the Iron Shore. Where are you leaning towards this one?
See, I feel like it's better than Conspiracy in Space and Prisoners of the Lake. But I don't know if it fits with the others on that list.
I'd say it's in. You're quite right, Joe.
I think it's
just,
yeah.
I think in between the other two from the set.
So, there we go.
Yeah.
Return of Jo Jones added. I mean, I'm sure we'll add the October 3rd Doctor release. Fingers crossed it can go up here somewhere.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
And it's another Sarah Jane one, back with Sadie Miller. And so, that, I mean, at least it's going for the more authentic again.
Yes.
Like, it's what the Third Doctor does so well, this range. And with this, you're sort of getting a sidestep from that. But it seems some people didn't quite get the memo that it was a sidestep from that.
I think there is potential there. It's just that the potential they use, they kind of sidelined.
Yeah. I think certainly the one that is the best of the set is the one that makes the most use of Jo Jones being older now, not being Jo Grant from her younger unit days.
Yeah.
With the Conservators, it's definitely one that plays to her strengths and is very well written.
So yeah, there we go. Return of Jo Jones, all done, I guess.
Yeah, that was an experience.
Yeah, it was an experience.
Yeah, I can't say I recommend it.
I'd say find and replace and sacrifice a Joe Grant. That has more of an emotional charge and beats to it, and I think there's just better stories than what this set offers.
There we have it.
Personally, but yeah.
And so, if you want Third Doctor Adventures, there's some great stuff from last year. There's the Annihilators and Kaleidoscope. This hasn't knocked like my faith in the Third Doctor Adventures.
No,
because I know it could do. I'm still excited for October with Sarah Jane coming back.
It's made me hungry for actually good Third Doctor.
Yeah,
it's
not put me off like some bad box sets can do with a range. But it's like you say, it's made me just want to get more stuff that actually feels authentic and feels.
I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't say it's a clanger, but it's a first sort of real box set for like the past 9 box sets, really.
They've been on a roll, really. Like Third Doctor has been consistently bangers stuff.
So it's not a stinger as such, because like, well, I've had the quality for so long, you're bound to get a clanger eventually.
Yeah, I think it certainly does make. I'm not going to be excited for the next Joe Jones box set though.
Yes,
I think that's going to be where that comes along. I suppose it helps that this feels so different from the Third Doctor Adventures, because it means I can distinguish it from the Third Doctor Adventures and still be excited for the range.
It does feel like a bonus special release, doesn't it?
It fits in with like that New Adventures and like Sixth Doctor and Perry box set.
Yes, it does have that feel. Yeah, I feel like it does belong there.
Yeah, but I mean, I hope we get more younger Joe as well, though. Because otherwise, that's like season 8 to 9 locked off.
Yeah, and you think when they get Delgado recast, which they inevitably will do, you don't want to shut that off.
Yeah, but you sort of need to have younger Joe for that. Or do you do that with older Joe? I don't know.
I think there would be a nice element to have older Joe, but look how far she's come.
But in a way, you've already had that with the War Master.
Yeah.
Again, another set that Joe Jones has turned up in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I mean that's one that does it very well. Yeah, to a scary degree, really. But yeah, back to the chat and the return of Zoe Herriot instead of Joe Jones. Zoe's great, but if you're doing season 6B, says Stylish One, go bold and experimental, not just season 6 to Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, I said something similar earlier, didn't I, about how if you're doing this, why not just do it season 6 stories if you're getting Zoe back, getting the gang back together. So I don't know quite how I feel about that. And Dark Eyes for £10 to £13, Mad Times, absolutely worth it. Best David Doctor box set arc, in my opinion. And yeah, you're right about the full cast thing. Starship says it's weird that sometimes, like early adventures and Fourth Doctor adventures, Big Finish really plan ahead, and other times they just sort of wing it and do what they feel like. A shame. I think they should have more plans, even loose plans.
I feel like they must, like, again, it goes back to when they started doing the Time War, that there was this whole idea that there was a tapestry. I don't think we as consumers know what that tapestry looks like, how that jigsaw is.
We've not seen any evidence of it.
Yeah. Even though there is supposedly this big tapestry, but, you know.
Yeah, if it is, it's a messy one.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes I think, like when you look at Stranded, that's done very well.
Yeah, very good.
Because, you know, you're looking at that and there's stuff going on early on, like Mr. Bird, who pops up early in Stranded, that you think, what exactly does he play into? And then he's missing for a couple of box sets. But then he comes back at the end and the reveal there, it all makes sense. It all slots into place so nicely. That is one of the most... It's satisfying, isn't it? I think it's the way to describe Stranded for how it slots everything into place that's come before.
I think as well because of like the big gaps as well with Stranded, you kind of wanted it to be satisfying. and I think you get it with it.
Yeah, you wanted those immediate answers,
Yeah,
but they make you wait instead, and it does end up being worth the wait for the most part.
yeah.
Yeah. Sergeant also says that St. Patrick's Day sale really shows that Big Finish and Doctor Who in general needs more stories set in Ireland, so much potential that could be used. There definitely is more, because there was the Fifth Doctor box set Iterations of I set in Ireland. Well, on an island off Ireland. But yeah, so I was surprised that one wasn't included.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, that's like one extra story out of so many. I'm sure there's at least a couple of others in Ireland, but yeah, definitely more that can be done there, more potential to explore. We've got one coming up, a book actually, don't we, with the 10th Doctor and Donna?
Yeah,
Doing those what's it, like a story for a decade. Like you got one set in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and I believe the early like the 2000s as well. I think they've not announced whether they're doing one for the 10s and the 20s yet.
Oh yeah, the settlings in Ireland, with Oliver Cromwell and Hex. That's a good story. It goes back to like Big Finish sales, because when I was doing the historicals video for the sale, there were other historicals they could have put on there, but they've only done like a small selection, really.
I suppose the thing is because historicals are like practically half of Doctor Who's output.
Yeah.
Or maybe not quite that much anymore, but certainly a good chunk. Like you can get every First Doctor box set on there.
Yeah, you could put every David Bradley. You could put the Lost Stories on there. You know, you could have put a few more on there, really.
Yeah. Was the focus more historical figures? Did they go for?
Yeah, they branded it as Doctor Who meets historical figures. I think it was to coincide with Marie Curie.
Ah, I see.
I think that was the link I put 2 and 2 together to make 5.
Yeah, they come out with some odd sales at times.
Yeah,
but it seems they love any excuse for a sale.
And we like it because, you can pick up some bargains.
Yeah. Do you think Big Finish will ever retcon Nyssa and Joe's eventual and very depressing fates from the Gathering and the Companion Chronicles? Do you mean Tegan there? Irish one. Yeah, I mean Leela has quite a depressing fate as well, doesn't?
Yeah, Leela does as well. Yeah.
And then she gets like an afterlife, because they started a trilogy with the child, but they never carried on with that because Tom Baker came along, so it's like, right, we'll do Fourth Doctor Adventures instead.
I'm sure we'll get that full cast. Seeing as doing everything else what Companion Chronicles have done at this point, with, I guess if the Zoe thing's true and they've done Joe, why not do it full cast?
I don't know if they'll adapt it or if they'll just tread on it and go, here's an older leader story with the Fourth Doctor. I think that's more likely.
Yeah, that's probably more likely.
Yeah. I mean, it is something that Big Finish seem to be doing more and more, where they're just abandoning stuff like the Sixth Doctor and Perry.
Yeah,
which is a worrying trend.
You don't know how to get invested in these things. You're like, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Again, it proves that there should be a sort of spreadsheet going, okay, this is what we're doing with these Doctors. And I think they're getting to that point now. But it's a slow process.
How long? Yeah. Is this them actually getting to that point, or is this them just setting up more stuff that they'll eventually drop in favor of new stuff further on?
Yeah, that is the question.
Yeah, because with Hebe, is she just going to end up the same way that older Perry and Flip and Constance have gone, where it's just unresolved and left out there?
Yeah.
Are there areas of canon, Luke, you're stingy about, like Ben and Delgado being the first master, or me with the ASML stuff being pre-Hex arc? ASML is like explicitly post-text though, whatever Sophie Aldred tells you,
Yeah.
because you've got you and the Doctor in a lot of stories,
Yeah, that's true.
which is very much them dealing with the fallout from Hex and then hunting down Mel in a way, or at least Mel leaving a trail of sorts for them. It was very much building to that, but yeah, at the same time, it does feel a bit weird being post-text. Yeah, but I certainly. Do you think Delgado's the first master, or do you just more mean in the sense that Delgado's the first one the Doctor meets after leaving Gallifrey?
I think in terms of leaving Gallifrey.
There you go.
That's what I mean. Like, it rubs me up the wrong way if like a master meets the Doctor before Delgado.
That has
before
to be
Terra.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, there probably is stuff in canon that bugs me like that, but I can't
It'll
think
come
of it
to
off
you.
the top of my
It'll
head.
come to you.
It's going to be one of those things that we'll be talked about at one time, and I'll be like, I don't
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, yeah. We all have our own little pet peeves. Or
Yeah,
pet hates,
like
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Like our own almost little head canons around it. Yeah. Would like to see Ela David. Sorry, Joe Bowser, butchered that. Would you like to see Ela David Goodison and Julia Beach reprise their roles as Davros at some point? Or are you satisfied with sticking with Terry Malloy? I'm happy to throw David and Julian in there.
I think David Goodison's had a bit of a renaissance since the season 17 trailer. I'm like, give me more, please.
Yeah. And Julian Bleach is always wonderful.
Yeah, I was hoping that he would be in Time War 4. Obviously not.
Yeah, it was his body, just not his head.
That's true. That's true. We were close. Yeah. We were close.
Yeah. Star Wars says I've also been getting really into the EDA books. They're mad, but I love them.
Good luck. Good luck getting them and reading them.
Yeah. That's one of the things that we don't really have time for, isn't it? Reading a book.
I have a load. I would love to read them, but Big Finish keep pumping the content out, and we do streams on Big Finish, so Big Finish takes priority.
Yeah, like even the Dead Star, the recent audio novel. Need to get around to that. It's not like I'm dreading it or putting it off. It's just having the time to sit down and put it on.
See, this is the thing. I want to listen to that, but then we have 6 hours of Davison, which I'm not complaining about. For the next stream, and it's like, if I spend another hour, I could have listened to the Dead Star.
I mean, luckily after that, it's season 9.
Yeah,
so we got a week off there.
We've got a week off.
Well, actually, a couple of weeks off because we have planned out April as well. We've got a spreadsheet. We've got our plans.
Yeah, we know what we're doing, I think.
More or less.
Yeah.
We got a rough plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, in fact, April looks to be another quieter month with just conflicts of interest being the main one there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully we will get around to the Dead Star. I still need to finish off Unit Visitants as well.
I need to start that.
Yeah. I mean, I've praised Haunt a lot, but yeah, so I think that'd be interesting to see how and that series shapes out in the end.
I imagine we'll get more Bambera this year.
I hope so. They did mention they were planning like a 3rd and 4th set, I'm pretty sure. Like in Vortex as well, so.
I mean, if the rumours are to be true.
They're going to need something else to fill in Unit.
Yeah, Bambera seems like the place to go.
Yeah. My favourite historical is The Power of the Daleks and Enemy of the World.
I think Power of the Daleks is least favourite historical is Power.
There we go.
And that's Luke's least favourite historical.
Yeah, my controversial canon take is that Power of the Daleks isn't canon.
Yeah, there we go. We found a little canon P for Luke.
I'm going to be attending Bedford WhoCon tomorrow, where I'll be meeting Sadie Miller, Chris Naylor, and David Goodison, and we'll see what Wendy Padley lets slips this time. Oh, how
Keep
fun
us
home
informed.
hours.
Keep us informed. Hope we have a good time.
You're our little source at the moment.
Yeah, a little inside info.
No, Luke. You see, you are, but the Doctor takes place post. You are the Doctor takes place post Hex, but that leads to a third reunion with Mel after their previous adventures. I have it all headcanoned. But isn't
I'm
it
glad somebody
explicitly
does.
said in A Life in Crime? I mean, I don't. Is Big Finish going to go back to that with the older Mel stuff, or is that dropped? 2018, isn't it? The last one of those.
Yeah, 29. Yeah, 2018. Yeah, was it the Quantum Possibility Engine? Yeah.
Yeah, which looked like it could have been a way to wrap it up, but then they went, "Nah, we'll carry on," and then just didn't actually carry on.
Big Finish. You just don't know when to say goodbye to things.
Fun fact, Big Finish originally advertised the 8th Doctor monthlies when they started as being the EDAs, even referencing Sam and Gallifrey got blown up and Big Finish went, no.
Fair play to Big Finish. Fair play.
So Big Finish had their own little canon cut out there.
Yeah.
Starch says also tomorrow I'll hopefully be meeting Davison, Colin, McCoy, Aldred, and McGann at the weekend. So hopefully some Big Finish updates. Have fun. It's a good little list.
Good time.
Favorite master assistant? Mine is Sally Armstrong.
I would say the person. I was going to say the person from what's her name from Transcendence of Ephros.
Oh yes, that's a wonderful character. I can't quite remember her name. She's like she's the armorer. She's a cult leader.
Yeah, literally the master's little disciple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just having it because she's on the cover as well, isn't she, with her glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who is
Can't remember.
Mulla Finzi.
There we go.
Yeah, mystery solved. Yeah, she was a wonderful little character. It's hard to tell because sometimes the master didn't really have that many clear assistants.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue Yaz is maybe one.
Yeah, true.
For a short time. Who've in a small collection? Welcome. Damn, I missed like an hour. I was so into Torchwood Outbreak, I forgot. We forgive you.
I mean, I remember listening to Outbreak in like the height of the pandemic. My God, that story hit different level. Different level then.
Mr. Monk Cactus, I watched the Enemy of the World recon from before 2011 and kind of wonder how different these are to the actual episodes. Yeah, I have watched. That's the story I did watch the recon for before, like it was announced to be coming back. But yeah, it must be a weird experience.
Yeah, because I listened to the soundtrack March 2013, then October 2013. It was there. I was like, this is wild.
Yeah, it's just weird thinking that those stories were once lost now because they're like so embedded in our Doctor Who psyche.
It's still that sort of pinch yourself moment that you have them. Yeah. Especially getting to like the end of episode 1 of Web of Fear, where you're like, I can actually watch part 2 now.
I must have watched that so much on Lost in Time. Well, especially on the build up, like after they announced that they came back, but before the DVD come out.
Yeah.
What Big Finish stories do the Rutons appear in? I watched Howler of Fang Rock earlier. I'm in the mood for some more of them. Did they appear in one of the Stockbridge trilogy?
They appeared in Castle of Fear, and I think maybe a Bernice one. Because Bernice tends to get sort of Z-list Doctor monsters like the Monoids. I feel I want to say the Bellatron incident. That looks like a Rutan, but I don't think it is.
I feel like they must have turned up in some Sontaran ones. I hear it. Yeah, Bellatron incident. I searched.
Yeah, there we
Rutan
go.
and that's turned up. Heroes of Sontar. Apparently, I don't know whether they're in this or if it's just because it's the Sontarans' war with the Rutans. That's like popped up in the description or something. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's something Big Finish could probably make more use of. The Rutans.
Yeah.
Maybe do a fourth Doctor adventure with them. The enemy loose cannon recon gets some things like the lift scene spot on, but others like Troughton splashing in the sea so wrong.
That would be interesting just to see.
It'd be interesting if we ever get like an animated story back and just seeing how different they are side by side. You know, where it's something that's actually emotion. Favorite title for an audio featuring each Doctor? Surely Varden Invasion of Mirth, the first Doctor. That is a fun little title.
That is a banger title.
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I feel like sometimes titles get coloured after you watch the story as well.
Yeah.
Like you'll have an announcement, you think, "Oh, that's a good title." Like the Genesis Chamber is a brilliant title for.
Not a good story.
Not a good story. I know. I mean, God of Phantoms.
Yeah.
Decent title, not a decent story.
We're not going back to that one, I don't think.
No. That would just take too much looking through each individual title to remember. I mean, Transcendence Bethros, pretty banging title.
Yeah, that's a banging title.
Yeah. I mean, then you get, because third Doctor Adventures, you get titles like Conspiracy in Space, which I think I love because it's, you know, very authentic to the time, like Frontier and Colony in Space. You know, it's very much riffing on that, but at the same time, it's not very imaginative, I suppose. But it is what
you would get
works for what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure though.
Yeah.
Remember, Enemy Part 4 had no telesnap, so it was completely new.
Wild. That is wild.
Is that the only Troughton story now that didn't have? Because I think there's still a couple of Hartnells, aren't there?
I have no idea.
Without
I have no idea. Because I'm a fake fan. So I don't really know.
If we ever do a missing episode stream, we'll definitely have to brush up on our knowledge a bit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you deep dive into one area of Doctor, and that's kind of it. You know.
I feel like these are things we might have known, like back in 2013-14.
Oh yeah, when like you're in the edgy teen phase where you're like, I must consume everything Doctor Who, and then once you get out of that phase, like life becomes a bit more happy.
We say this like as if we're not consuming every bit of Big Finish at the moment and complaining about it.
It's more down to we know what they're capable of.
Yeah. We want better. We've seen better or heard better. Rapidly. Yeah. We've had some bangers, but
yeah.
I mean, I'm still blown away by Friend of the Family.
I think that's my favorite of the year.
It's easily mine. I'm not sure if anything else has really blown me away even half as much. I think the second favorite might be Fourth Doctor Adventures New Frontiers.
Yeah, I enjoyed Ice Heist.
Yeah, but that's just like it's a nice palate cleanser.
Yeah.
He's like good, but I'm looking for great at the moment.
I think that's the thing. Big Finish have this not complacency, but they know they're good and they deliver a standard. It's just the standard's very good. You're just looking for that breakout release.
Yeah, I think sometimes as well on audio, you need things to be that little bit better to grip you even further.
And I think
like
as
your
well, it's a
stuff-
paywall as well.
Yeah, that's true. Also, like there's stuff that I'd be fine with on TV because ultimately I've just wasted an hour or less just watching it. Whereas when it's Big Finish, you've spent 20 quid for a box set.
Yeah.
And so, you sort of expect something a bit more out of that.
I'm going to be interested when we get to July what our favourite releases are. To see what lands with us, really.
Yeah.
Because I think this time last year, we probably had a clearer idea.
Yeah, I think because February was such a strong month with Old Friends and the Annihilators. Whereas this year it's only first place is clear.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I don't know. It could be anything really.
Yeah.
Some Second Doctor stuff in the chat though. Slideshot says generally, why is the Second Doctor so neglected in books, comics, audios, and even figures? I mean, I say in recent years at least, you've had the excuse of the animations. That's
Yeah.
all like been Troughton's home. Like we got 2 animated Troughton stories a year for was it 2 years in a row? At one point.
Yeah.
So you could sort of understand why other media like Big Finish and the comics were steering clear of him a bit. Because it was like, right, he's covered by other areas.
Well, comics aren't really a thing anymore. Let's be honest.
I wonder if that's something that will get a revival under Russell. I mean, we've had Liberation of the Daleks. But, that's
they'll
like
have the stuff in Doctor Who magazine, but I don't know if they'll have anything Titan. I know they did Fugitive Doctor and Bad Wolf Empire or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, wasn't that like 8th Doctor and 11th? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think people have just got fatigued with Titan just going, here's another Doctor meetup. And yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Big Finish do them probably more often than they should as well. But at the same time, they're giving you so much other stuff.
Mm-hmm. It kind of gets lost.
Yeah. It just becomes white noise with Titan, sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even it feels often very reference heavy and derivative of the eras they're going for. Like, I think, wasn't the 4th Doctor one practically just Talons of Wing Triang again?
Yeah, pretty much. The Sylvester McCoy one was good from memory, but I've not read it since it came out.
Didn't that one not sell very well, though?
Yeah, I don't think it did that well.
Because they never did a 1st Doctor, 2nd, 5th, or 6th.
Be interesting to know what Doctor they would have gone for.
I mean, Jodie was always plagued by a 10th Doctor team up, wasn't she? Like
it's kind of funny
sequel.
How literally we joked how David Tennant's overshadowing Jodie to literally David Tennant taking over Jodie. Yeah, mental.
Yeah, it's like we're joking. This is the 2nd David Tennant era, and then suddenly we get an actual 2nd David Tennant era.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, Once and Future can come near the top of our lists.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, and I think as well that's doing something different than the usual multi-Doctor story. I mean, it's not something necessarily new. Like I know there's a comic where you have the 10th Doctor degenerating into the 9th, isn't there?
Yeah,
because of course there is. There's the explanation at this point.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hoover Small Collection says, I think I might be able to finish 2016 Big Finish by the end of this week. Hopefully, fingers crossed. What release are you up to at the moment, Hoovian?
Let us know. We'll be going back to 2016 next Friday.
If Once the Future gives us more McQueen and all, then it'll be worth it. Now Jacoby and McQueen.
Yeah.
I mean, we know we've got Michelle Gomez, so we're getting some master presence in there.
We'll definitely get some more cameos.
Yeah. I mean, with Liv back for a story, I think it would be nice to have her and McQueen in the same one.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That'd be a good combo. Yeah. Any last questions? Because I suppose we're about to wrap up, really, aren't we?
Yeah, we're pretty much done. We've done the review. We've done the news. Nice little quick stream, really.
Oh, what's this about Gomez? In the Gallifrey 1 casting announcement, when they gave us like 16 names all in one, Michelle Gomez was one of them. She's going to be in Once and Future at some point. Yeah, although it's not quite clear which one yet. But yeah, it was. Michelle Gomez as Missy, Nicola Walker as Liv Chenka, Georgia Tennant as Jenny the Doctor's daughter, Michelle Ryan as Lady Christina, Camille Caudry as Jackie Tyler, Neve McIntosh, Madame Vastra, Katrin Stewart as Jenny Flint, Dan Starkey as Strax, Sadie Miller as Sarah Jane Smith. We know she's in the first one now. Christopher Naylor as Harry Sullivan, Ken Bones as the General, and Beth Chalmers as Veclin. There we have it.
There we go.
Yeah. Hoovian Small Collection. I'm on Unit Silenced and I'm loving the unit set so far. Very into them. My favourite release has to be Tortured Archive. The Tortured range is weird, not gonna lie. Like Susie is now my second favourite Tortured character. Well, she had a recent release, didn't she? Back last month.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe part of that comes down to India Varma as a actress as well, because she's certainly gone on to big things like Game of Thrones and the Kenobi show.
Yeah, that's true.
She's going to have a Black Series action figure. Did they ever do a Susie action figure?
No, they didn't do that. Or Owen. 2018 for Lady Christina. So you've got another 2 years of Big Finish content before you get to that banger of a theme. That's all we can say about Lady Christina because we've not listened to it.
That's such a weird release because it had like that original cover and then they replaced it with a different cover.
A bland cover.
Yeah. Like people were complaining because it had the awkwardly photoshopped neck.
Yeah.
Like, didn't they fix that anyway and then replace
it?
Yeah.
We did.
It was almost like a scarf was there and edited to be flesh toned or something.
Yeah.
I don't know quite what they did there. But it has individual covers that match the style of the original cover.
Yeah,
that's a wild. Yeah. It was a wild time to be a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
Honestly, a great spin-off Lady Christina is great, and hopefully it comes back after Once and Future, like the Paternoster Gang. Because I mean, Paternoster Gang, they do like chunks worth of them, don't they? Where being 4 box set series. Lady Christina just seems like every once in a while. Same with Jenny, where they just come out with another box set. I can see them getting a 3rd box set out, especially if the second ended on a cliffhanger. Yeah, I think with ones like that, they can get away with justifying a 3rd one and saying this is the final one now. I think maybe that sales-wise encourages people to go back and get the complete collection.
Yeah.
That might be how they work around that.
If you could pick one master to appear alongside Eccleston, who would it be? I choose McQueen.
Maybe Jacoby?
I see, my heart says Jacoby, but for like bands, have Eric Roberts for 2 levers.
Oh.
Have a Brees and Eccleston. Yeah, I don't know. That's just a fun, quirky answer.
Is Eric Roberts from North America?
I don't know.
Well, like North America. He's obviously North American, but I wonder is he like the north of America rather than Deep South.
Yeah.
But which state is Eric Roberts born in? Just so we can. Are we going to have two Northerners technically? Mississippi. That's more south.
Oh, okay. Lots of Americans has a south. I don't know.
The north versus the south.
There we go.
Although it's still technically North America continent-wise, so you know.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh wow! Just seeing like the I mean, I definitely would have seen this on a map before, but just noticing it divide-wise, like the line that separates, you know, the US and Canada is below the United Kingdom. But it's not like you feel like we have somewhat similar climates.
That's true.
Yeah, I suppose it partly comes down to the Gulf Stream and stuff, sending stuff our way. But anyway, enough of a geography lesson.
Yeah, geography lesson.
We found out where Eric Roberts is from. We've tracked him down.
I think that's pretty much us done, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so. Well, yeah. Joe Martin and Eric Roberts were both in the Dark Knight trilogy. That's a power move. I didn't know Joe Martin was. I knew Eric Roberts was.
But yeah, there we go.
Would love Ninth and Lady Christina series if she was like a full-on companion, says Who from a Small Collection. Oh, and Who from a Small Collection also says Order of the Daleks. Just wanted to say this one. My thoughts are raw. Best Dalek ever. Oh, I mean design-wise or character-wise?
Design-wise, it's good.
That was a wonderful moment when that cover was revealed. That was like one of those ones that they kept hidden because they used to reveal titles early, so they called it Order, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then boom, it's like it's Order of the Daleks. It's the invasion of the dinosaur syndrome, but the effect actually works this time.
Yeah.
Joe Martin is the Doctor Who. Yes, she is stylish one. Sorry. Joe Martin's the Doctor Who talks to Crane in Arkham after he talks with the mob guy.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah. Shall we wrap this one up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Been a fun one. Nice quick stream, really.
Yeah.
I think the next one will be a lot more chunkier because we'll have a lot more to say, and there's 6 hours instead of 3 hours stories to talk about.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll get trapped in nostalgia somehow talking about old 2016 Big Finish with our Fifth Doctor throwback stream. We will be reviewing The Waters of Amsterdam, Aquitaine, and the Peterloo Massacre, that wonderful little Fifth Doctor, Nyssa, and Tegan trilogy as we build up to Conflicts of Interest featuring that trio. And if you've ordered your Season 9 Blu-ray, I hope it arrives safe and that you enjoy that in the coming days and weeks. Because we're certainly looking forward to ours.
Yeah, we've both had the dispatch, so fingers crossed it will be here probably Monday.
Yeah, it's about right. Good time to tuck in. And then we'll be doing a stream on that following Friday.
Yeah. And then we'll announce... We might as well announce the April schedule on the Season 9 stream, since it's literally the last day of March.
Yeah, right on the 31st. So, yeah, that's... Mark your calendars.
Mark your calendars.
If you're interested in what we're doing in April. Mr. Bogcactus, great stream tonight, lads. Thank you, Mr. Bogcactus. Glad you enjoyed. Yes, Biff Doctor next week. Oh, yes, says Daniel Hager. Yeah, I know you're looking forward to that one. So I hope we don't disappoint you there.
We'll have to don the cricket jumper and turn the camera on.
Yeah.
For that.
Go for it.
Why not?
That'd be a good bit of fun.
For Davo.
Yeah. You didn't fancy cracking out the smoking jacket for this one then?
The time I set the link, I was like, I need to set all that up, and I was like, no, I'll be fine. I can relax.
It doesn't quite encourage that same dedication.
I know the quality I'm getting with Davo.
Yeah. Thanks for another great stream. Looking forward to the next stream. Take care and enjoy. Thank you, Stylish One. Take care of yourself too.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. You're welcome, Joe Bowers. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Let us know any more Wendy info.
Yeah. Thank you for your scoops that you've given us.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Have a good time at your Bedford Comic-Con, WhoCon, whatever charity thing it is, and Stylish One. Enjoy meeting all those people in the chat. Have a lovely weekend. Lurkers, we appreciate you. Have a great weekend. And yeah, it's all good fun.
Yeah, so take care of yourselves. We'll see you next week.
And I'll see you tomorrow for a collection update. So yeah, the content's still rolling, and we're gonna record a few more things as well. Because we've recorded quite a few things, haven't we, really?
We've had plans for a while, and now we're finally starting to act on them a bit.
Yeah, so we've finally got a chance to do it.
Yeah, we finally had some free time. But
one video I don't think you're quite prepared for.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah, I'm excited to get people's reaction for.
Yeah, I've got to knock up a thumbnail for that. Actually, that's going to be a fun thumbnail to do.
Oh, we're just going to tease that.
Yeah, you won't have long to wait for that one.
Yeah, within the next 2 weeks, you'll find out what that is.
Anyway, take care of yourselves. And thank you all for joining us.
Thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you next week for the 5th Doctor special. Bye-bye, everyone.